Welcome again to Thursday Testimony. I have an interesting story of probably most of us when we first get saved and there's no one in our family that loves the Lord. Some of my overseas watchers will get this. I had a teenager that started coming to church because he loved to play basketball, and we had a basketball court in our gym. And I watched him. And he'd come to church. He'd play basketball. And I always challenged the kids to bring their friends. Say, hey, bring your friends. And most of them brought their friends to play basketball or to come see the cute girl or the cute guy or to get into the clique. Or some of them came just to get out of the house. To get away. Some of them were always in trouble and grounded, and their parents would let them come to church. So it was a way to get out of the house, even though they were in trouble. But I watched them change, and I watched them transform. And every so often, I would have this conversation with one of them. And again, I'm reading it out of a devotional that I used to love to teach out of to the teens. And I want to read you this devotional because it's very powerful, and they'll do a much better job portraying the situation I want to share today. My dad isn't a Christian, and he yells at me a lot. When I try to show him a Christian response by not yelling back, he calls me self-righteous and accuses me of having a stuck-up attitude. Been there, done that. Probably been on both sides of that. Probably did have a stuck-up attitude once in a while. But I have someone in my own personal life like, I thought you were a Christian. But I digress. We'll go back to this. So here I am trying to take a stand for Jesus, and it seems like all it gets me is in trouble. I'm glad I'm not the only one who's ever had this problem. There was Noah. He did too. He got criticized by everyone when he was trying to build the ark. But he did what God asked him to do anyway. And he was blessed because of it. Noah and his family were the only people with a safe place to go when the flood came. Remember, Noah, he only got criticized for 120 years, so it's not such a big deal. You're good, We don't have to go through 120 years of persecution and criticism. But he kept telling people about God, and no one listened for 120 years until the flood came. Then it was too late. When I'm struggling to stand up for what's right, I can think about Noah and know I'm doing the right thing. If I'm obedient, I know God will always provide a safe place for me too. And this was a devotion written personally that they put in here. Personally written by a 15-year-old. And I know I'm an older adult. But I know what happened when I read those devotions and listened to what a 15-year-old, the wisdom that was coming from the mouth of babe. A child. The wisdom that came from a pen or a keyboard when they asked teenagers to send in devotions that they could put into their teen Bible. I wonder how many of you, maybe teenagers, may not be, but can take that wisdom. Feel like the more you get closer to God, the more challenges that come up in life. We're personally doing a study that I put up, mostly my Bible studies, but we're personally doing a study on the baptism of Jesus now, but right after that, we're probably going to do the study of him going into the wilderness. Here's the Son of God, doing exactly what the Father needs him to do, getting ready to change the world, to be the place that he's wanting it to be. And the first thing that happened in his life, he had to go out in the wilderness and be tested. And throughout his whole journey, he was persecuted and beaten. The Son of God. One could have snapped his fingers at any time, changed situations, did many miracles, changed many lives. But around every corner there was an obstacle. It seemed like mountaintop experience, got to walk in the valley. Mountaintop experience, got to walk in the valley. Sounds like you and I's journey. So I want you to think about these questions. This is a question this young man wrote. Think about a time someone made fun of you when you tried to do the right thing. What helped you stay strong? Put some comments in the comment section. What helps you stay strong when you feel like you're the weakest? When I am weak, I will be made strong. What helps you realize that verse? So this young gentleman teaches us a lesson today. Always remember, Christ will make us strong. And we will go through stuff. But will you stay focused on your mission? Do you know your purpose? Do you know your calling? And then when you are starting to fulfill that, realize you are going to get bombarded by the enemy because he is not a happy camper. What helps you stay strong? Share that. I watched many teenagers, and I'm starting to see some adults, and I'm starting to hear testimonies from people just like you on this YouTube journey that we've begun, with lives being changed and lives changing the world. So no matter where you're at in this world, let me know how you're changing the world. Share with me so that I can start incorporating some little nuggets of your life in our Thursday testimonies. God loves you. He accepts you. Like, share, subscribe. Let's change the world together.